Yippee! Holiday weekend time. Oh, that's always music to a lot of people's ears. But before I get too overly excited about it, I do want to say here in the First Alert Weather Center that we need to say thank you, because there have been so many men and women who served our country who died. And because of their service, we have the freedoms and liberties that we have in this country, and that should never be forgotten during a Memorial Day weekend. So it's exciting to go into the holiday weekend. I'm feeling a good vibe. Perhaps you are as well, but always take a minute to think about that. We're lucky, and we're also lucky that we're going to have some decent weather developing over the next couple of days. Oh, by the way, this is First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Balon in the First Alert Weather Center. I am going to give you a live shot from our Green Bay sky cam. Hey, it is mostly sunny. We're at 50 degrees. Whoa, look at that dew point. Just catching my eye there, 29. That's very dry. That dry air kept rain out of our forecast last night, even though there were some raindrops coming out of the clouds. An east wind blowing in at 9 miles an hour is pumping in this cool and dry air mass. 50 in Green Bay. 50 in Marinette and in Sturgeon Bay. We've got 53s on the board for Oconto and for Fond du Lac, and upper 40s across the north. Remember I mentioned that rain that tried to fall on us last night, but the dry air pretty much nixed that? Well, you could see the clouds and the precipitation pushing off towards the north end of Lake Michigan. Those clouds are thinning out. We're going to see an interval of sunshine, but as we get into the afternoon, clouds will come back. So it's one of those situations where we had clouds, we're back into sun, we'll have clouds later today. Bit of a variable sky for your Friday. Mix of sun and clouds, mild but breezy. It's not going to be as cool as the past couple days, but with that east wind blowing off of Lake Michigan, you might not notice an uptick in the temperature. We'll see a high of 65 degrees, low 60s lakeside. So I want to give you a first alert. There's a major change coming with our weather pattern as we go towards your holiday weekend. Look at the jet stream snaking its way across North America. These steering winds aloft have a big impact on our weather pattern. And as we go into the beginning of next week, the end of your holiday weekend, we puff up this big bubble of high pressure, a ridge of high pressure in the Midwestern United States. And that means a warm-up for us as the cool air is shunted way up north up into Canada. So look at our temperatures over the holiday weekend. 60s today, 60s tomorrow. Then Sunday, 77. And away from the lake on Memorial Day, a high of 84 degrees. So fire up the barbecue. It's going to be warming up. You'll notice, though, it's not looking completely dry. We do have chances of showers, maybe some isolated thunderstorms. This is our next weather maker. Spotty showers, perhaps an isolated storm or two during the holiday weekend, but fear not. They're only slight rain chances. They're like 20, 30% apiece. And they're not going to wash out your holiday. But there might be a time during your holiday, especially Saturday, where we get a passing shower or maybe a pop-up thunderstorm late Sunday into Monday. But the bulk of that holiday weekend is looking dry. It's just one of those situations where you just want to kind of keep an eye on the sky and have a plan B in your back pocket in case you need to get the family inside for a short bit, especially if you're hosting family and friends during the holiday weekend. So here's First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. We're looking at Saturday, tomorrow. A lot of clouds, not a lot of rain, but it's out there. Here and there, little passing light showers. Spotty rain, 5 p.m. Showers diminishing Saturday evening. Clouds kind of hang around, though. And then the showers are gone when you wake up Sunday morning. Okay, well, there's that one shower near Fond du Lac. But otherwise, Sunday clouds, poof, give way to sunshine, and that's going to really help warm us up. As we get some sun, we'll get our highs in the 70s, and it looks okay, but then there might be a passing thunderstorm late Sunday. Nothing severe, but it's a possibility. And something similar could happen on Monday as well. So Monday looks like a nice day to take the family to a Memorial Day parade, and there's a bunch of them across northeast Wisconsin. In fact, if you're going to the De Pere Kiwanis parade, say hi, because you may see some folks at WBAY waving back at you, maybe handing out some pieces of candy to the kids. But before the kids get any candy at the parade, make sure that they've got some sunscreen. Maybe apply it to their ears, their nose tips, parts of the body that tend to burn a little bit easy, because we're going to have some sun. And it's going to be pleasant, but it's going to be warming up out of the 60s and into the 70s. The UV index this time of year often gets up to about, say, 7 or 8. And burns can happen anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes, depending on how light or dark your skin is. And so this time of year, especially as the sun gets very strong, you definitely want to apply some sunscreen. And that's especially true as you get later into the morning and the sun angle gets higher and higher. So something to consider on Memorial Day, especially at those parades. But don't get me wrong, apply the sunscreen and have a great time. The temperatures are going to be great. It's also going to be a good weekend to go up to the cabin or go camping. You can see the fire danger is low right now. We're going to see more and more sun as the weekend rolls on. Yes, there's those isolated showers and storms, but most of your camping time will be good. If you're heading to the cabin, it looks good. 60s, then 70s, and even up north on Memorial Day. I'm thinking you're going to get into the 80s. They always say Memorial Day is the unofficial start to summer. Well, I think the forecast is bearing out that way as well. So there's your First Alert Super 7-day forecast with the warming trend, the slight rain chances, and there is a slight storm chance on Tuesday when a lot of folks are going back to work. That's going to be the hottest day of the week ahead, a high of 88, and it's going to be humid, bit on the sticky side. And then I think a front comes through and we'll see the humidity drop a bit as we go into the second half of next week. And the temperatures will cool back down a little bit, but still run above average. So as we get towards the end of May, it looks like warmer than normal weather and generally drier than normal weather, but that's not to say it's completely dry. Again, there's those isolated rain and storm chances. All right, so this is a big weekend to remember those who served our country, to remember why we are free, why we have the freedoms and liberties that we have. It's a big weekend to reconnect with your family, your friends, and you know what? Chances are you've got big plans, and good, because you should get out there and try to take in this weather. And we want to be able to help you out. We want to help you make good decisions on the forecast. And one of the best ways to do that is to use our free WBAY First Alert Weather app. The QR code allows you to scan that, and that way you get it for free on your phone or your tablet. Lots of great features in there. Hour-by-hour forecast, daily forecast. It is geo-targeted to you. In other words, the forecast pops up wherever you go. And it doesn't matter where you are. You could be anywhere, and the forecast will be right there in that location. Or you can set it for whatever town you want to set it for. And you can, of course, get the Doppler radar and do all the storm tracking. But something that I don't talk about too often that you can do with our app, and if I can get this to work out right, you can call up this through our First Alert Weather app. You can call up our First Alert 24/7 Weather channel. You can stream that through our app. Yeah, there's a way of doing that. And so you could be out at a picnic. You could be out boating. Think about this. You could be out on the boat, streaming our 24/7 weather channel, getting the forecast, and if there's any storms that pop up, you will get the first alert to get to shore. Not that we expect it to be that stormy this weekend, but it's possible. So make sure that you tap our app, WBAY First Alert Weather, because there's lots of great features that are all intended to help you and your family out. Coming up on Action 2 News at noon and at 4, meteorologist Emily Murr. She's getting the Friday vibe on as well. She's going to update your forecast. I know she's also predicting a warm-up as well. All right, so where is she? There she is. There's Aisha. Aisha was holding this little kitten this morning. There was a couple who came in, and they foster kittens, and sometimes they get them in bunches, like kittens often are, because they're born that way. And the litter of kittens, I guess there was 4 of them, and they named them after our morning team, me and Aisha and Emerson and Tammy. And so we were holding the kittens this morning, and Aisha was holding this kitten, and this kitten was like on its back, just looking at Aisha with these little googly eyes. I thought, oh, that is so cute. Anyway, so, but Aisha will be not with a kitten during Action 2 News mid-morning, but I guarantee you she has plenty to offer with news and other information that you might find useful going into the Memorial Day holiday weekend. And that's coming up in just over 5 minutes, about 5-7 minutes from now on the TV side of things. All right, so we will go to a live view from our Sturgeon Bay Skycam. What do you say? And you can see some of the boats that are filling in the slips that we've been seeing more and more of those come out of winter storage over the past few weeks. And hopefully people get on out. Keep in mind, though, water temperatures are still pretty chilly. On Lake Michigan, they're still in the 40s. But if you're going out in the bay, water temperatures are in the 50s and 60s, and so that's a little bit nicer. Regardless, whatever you're doing this holiday weekend, enjoy. Remember those who've passed on, and make it a good one. Thanks for watching our live stream. We'll catch you throughout the weekend and into early next week. Take care. Happy Friday.